Hi, Leslie and Jose. I hope you're having a good morning. I look forward to hearing your thoughts. So, I guess one of the key points for me was just trying to come to terms with why embodied learning is so important in social justice. Because I know we've privileged the mind, and the body as a way of constructing knowledge has not been valued, and I understand that. But I also know that we've encouraged multiple intelligences, different modalities of learning, and so we have a little bit of that. So what's the difference? Why is it so important? And I think it's really important because when we look at different perspectives, that's one thing we can open our minds in the traditional ways. But it's about valuing something we haven't valued before. So we're going to value not only what we learn, but how we learn it. It has to be different. So valuing what was not privileged. And I think that's the real key, is we have to get out of our comfort zones and understand that this unlearning that's spoken about is really, really very important. When I think about education, and I think especially about higher education and how we see things as, it's seen as a commodity now. It's so expensive. You come and you learn skills so you can make a living. And yet, we are a liberal arts institution. So we bring these students in and we say, oh, we value all of these types of learning and all of these types of knowledge and explore. But yet we really only reward them in very traditional ways like grades. And we, like Dr. D said, we reward professors by publishing in specific journals and publishing in written communication, which is another dominant way of communication. So we have to shift that mind, and we have to shift that reward, and I'm not sure how to do that. The other really interesting thing to me this week was the concept of time. I talk to my students all the time about time management and time efficiency when they're freshmen because they're not getting everything done. And time management is a myth anyway, because it's really about managing ourselves, right? So we're looking at ourselves through this lens of time, and we're measuring all of our progress through it. So we've measured our progress through time, and we've measured the history through time, and we look at how Europeans justified their superiority from native indigenous cultures because they said they were not enterprising or they were lazy because they didn't have this concept of time. So that is absolutely true, but yet we look at time, we look at shifting out of this for health. We take yoga, we promote meditation, we pray, we go on vacation so that we don't have to be in bondage of time. So we value it in terms of our health. We understand that it's not a healthy thing, but yet we still promote it. So that's what I thought was really interesting there. I love the concept of interconnectedness and creating communities, and also valuing people who have gone before us. That was kind of what I took away from those other articles. I encourage everybody to go see the Ruth Bader Ginsburg movie if you haven't seen that. She was a real warrior for women and women's rights and recognition. And I think within that, Bell Hooks said, our heart has to be ready to carry the weight of our calling. I think this class helps prepare our hearts to carry the weight of this, and how we can empower ourselves to look at our own strengths and talents and promote social justice in the best way that we can, and also how to create these communities to help us in those efforts. Thanks.